Hi folks, back again, Bathrobe Chronicles number 115, I'm pretty sure. And this is going to be a little different tonight. I finally figured out how to put some favorites, I guess that's what you call them, on my website. And I'm sure there are lots of ways to put them on there. But anyway, if you look at the website to the right, obviously, there are two little videos. And that's what I wanted to talk to you about tonight. If you've watched more than a couple of these, you know I rant and rave about the so-called complimentary stuff all the time. And I've had several segments that, excuse me, I have either talked exclusively about homeopathic medicines or homeopathy or whatever, and I mention them from time to time. Excuse me. Now tonight, and when I say these are my favorites, everyone who has been kind enough to subscribe to my channel, I've also gone to their channel. And I've found a whole lot of really neat stuff out there. But when I say these are my favorites, what I'm using them for is things that illustrate what I'm talking about. And these two do, and they're both about homeopathic medicines or homeopathy or whatever. The Mitchell and Webb, it's, well, I won't even say anything about that. Hope you guys get a kick out of that. Now, for those of you who don't know about homeopathic medicine, let me just take 5 seconds. Basically, what they say is the more you dilute a substance, the stronger it gets. And keep that in mind at the end of the Mitchell and Webb, when the fellows go out to have a drink, and one of the fellows said to the bartender, or he indicated somehow he needed a really strong drink. You'll notice there's the bartender puts like 1 drop or something, you know, in this huge glass, and that's the deal. You remember, the more it's diluted, the stronger it is. So keep that in mind when you watch that, the one Mitchell and Webb. Now, the other one, I'll tell you, I really don't know what to tell you. This lady, her name is Charlene Werner, or Werner, whichever. It says doctor, and she is legally allowed to call herself a doctor. She is an optometrist. It seems that she's licensed in Texas. She's part of a group, and if you actually have any interest, you can look them up. It's Austin Integrative Medicine, I believe. And there's about 5 folks involved in this practice, if you will. One of whom is an MD. Got a couple of nurse practitioners, a physician's assistant, and of course a massage therapist, and then Dr. Charlene. And if you go to their website, they've got this typical stuff that you will find in all of these places. Mind, body, and spirit. They always mention that kind of stuff. Chelation therapy, toxins, you know, and on and on and on and on and on. Treat the whole person, blah, 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 blah. I'll tell you, if a person didn't know better, the tape that she has here, Dr. Charlene, if you will, it's almost like you took a bunch of actors and you lined them up in like an improv thing. Is that what they call it, when spontaneous, you have to get up and do something? and you said to them, hey, I want you to jump up and pretend like you're messing around with homeopathic stuff and act crazy. You know, this is what you would get. But sadly, folks, I don't think this is a charade or anything. I don't think this is a satire. This is this woman who is out there in Texas treating people for no telling what kinds of problems. I mean, I don't know. And some of you might be saying, well, it's a joke. Well, sadly, I don't think it is a joke. And I think the other thing that, and I hope you watch them both, I think another thing that the Dr. Charlene thing will do is she surely isn't the only one out there like that. You know, I would imagine there are many chiropractors like that, just as wacky with all the stuff that they do. And, you know, I think she, you know, might be fairly representative of the folks out there doing this weird stuff. You know, people thinking they can shoot energy around in the air and other kinds of things. And it's really pretty frightening. Can you imagine a person with an actual illness going to some person like this to be treated? This is what you end up with out there when you start messing around. And people, you know, and this sort of also comes under the what's the harm, you know? Oh well, I'll let you be the judge of that. But frankly, if you haven't seen anything like this before, you better get a grip, because your head might explode, because you just will not believe it. But I hope you do watch it, ladies and gentlemen. And anyways, Pat Condell would say peace. And please, don't let your loved ones, your friends, your relatives, hey, even your enemies, for crying out loud, go to these kind of people. You guys take care. Good night.